this morning, and a big hello for everybody out there. So
hello.
Today, hello everyone. Today we're going to be talking about food waste, and I know a lot of people out there. We all love food, but we hate the waste. And here at SubPod, we help that problem by making composting easy. But there's a step before that's even better, and that's where the swag heap comes in. It keeps veggies really fresh, and I've been using one for about a year, and I got to speak to Peita briefly a couple of weeks ago, and it was just, I really loved her story. Straight from the heart. And I wanted to ask Peita and share a little bit about why she created the swag. We're going to do a live swag demo, and we are going to offer a special swag offer because it's Plastic Free July. So stay tuned. And if you have any questions, just drop us a line down in the comment, and we'll definitely try and answer them the best as we can. So Peita, thank you for joining us today. I'm really excited. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me, Pete. I'm really excited to be here too.
Oh, cool. Oh, well, there's so much we could talk about. We have so much in common.
Yeah.
Like, if I just list the things off my head, we could go into the environmental aspects. We could talk about the nutrients. We could talk about the time you save by not going to the shops, the economics, how much people save as a family by having fresh food. But I want to get to that story of how and why you created the swag, that night on the sofa.
Yes.
I would like to hear that story. I think people out there would appreciate it as well.
Okay, so I was working full-time, but I was on maternity leave with my youngest, and I'd had this idea that was bubbling away for quite some time, and it probably started all grassroots with my upbringing because I lived very sustainably as a child on acreage, and I'd had this idea, and I'd almost got it to the perfect place. I wanted it. And then when I was sitting on the couch and actually lying on the couch, as you do, and watching a documentary. I love my documentaries, and I flicked over to one. It was kind of in the middle of the documentary, and I just was thrown. A missionary that was working over in India, and he'd seen some. There was miles of them, and after explaining this to this missionary in Australia, she thought, no, there's no way in God's name that is happening. Like, I just don't believe it. After this full-on description that this gentleman gave, and she hung up from him, and then that night she couldn't sleep, and she thought, so she jumped on a plane and she went to that area and she saw it with her own eyes. And when she walked through this horrific region, what she explained to me was just so heartbreaking that I just thought, my God, I've got this amazing idea that I've been sitting on and fine-tuning, and I just thought, I can't sit by and let that situation be going on. So I decided at that moment that I wanted the swag to be able to generate revenue to help children that are trapped in sex slavery. And in tears rolling down my face, I went straight into our little home office and I registered the swag name, the URLs. I started the patenting process, which was obviously, a huge investment as well. It was a very expensive process, trademarking, and got everything lined up. And as soon as I did that momentum that created, because I briefed the lawyers and I had all these people and I was paying them and they were getting into action, before you know it, the swag was on the market, and we're proudly donating a portion of our profits to Destiny Rescue, which is helping children trapped in human trafficking.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Really take my hat off to you.
Yeah,
what a drive as well. Like, it's far beyond the drive of doing it for personal reasons, but to have something tangible that you can that you're helping.
And it was funny because when I first launched, after all the money that we invested into getting the product to market. You know, even though I wasn't paying myself a salary, and I've only just started paying myself a little bit of salary, it was so important for me to start paying Destiny Rescue first. It was just, and everyone was saying, no, don't do it because you need that money to grow. And yes, that is absolutely true, but I needed to do something. But we have a view to grow the business to a point where we're really making an impact in that space. But it's still early days and we're still growing. But we do whatever we can to support Destiny Rescue and help children get out of those horrific circumstances. And it's got a beautiful knock-on effect as well, because you're also helping households live waste and plastic free, and saving money and living healthier. And it's like, how could I not bring that product to market, even just for those reasons alone, let alone to have this, you know, the underpinning of the children and saving children. Yeah,
I was gonna say, just in itself, the swag has such an amazing mission in reducing plastic, in reducing food waste, in helping save money as well for those families. But then on top of that, you're helping this organization. Is it Destiny Change?
Destiny Rescue.
Destiny Rescues.
Yeah, so they're an incredible organisation, and so we not only rescue children, but we help facilitate the rehabilitation of those children as well, because it's a very, very long process. So Destiny Rescue does the full chain that is linked. So they arrest the pimps, they rescue the children, they don't, they work with law enforcement, and they go, if they rescue 3 children in a raid, then they go to jail for life. So depending on the country, but yeah, there's really strict, and then there's obviously for the customers or the Johns, there's repercussions, and then also once the child is rescued, there's a really long rehabilitation, and they've also got a prevention program. So if a family you know, struggling to feed their family and they sell a child into that situation, usually they don't know they're selling them into sex slavery. They think they're going to work as a maid or something, so they're hoodwinked. So they offer a prevention program as well. So it's that full circle, and that's what we love about them. And they're very transparent in everything that they do. And so yeah, we're really stoked to be joined with them.
Yeah, I can definitely resonate with doing it tough, the startup life for 2 years. Like one of the guys here would be hitchhiking 40 minutes into the office, and we donated about 80 sub pods at the start to schools to try and really push that mission, really get people excited about composting. So yeah, I love that, and I resonate with that, like putting your life on hold for a little bit to just help this bigger mission that's there. And ultimately that's the drive that's going to, well, for me at least, that was my drive to sort of help push this further, and it was definitely sustained me. Before we get into it any longer, I would love to know a little bit about what I'm holding in my hand right now. I mean, I know what it is because I've been using it for a year, but yeah, please walk us through this.
Okay, so that's the little baby there. So it's Europe, and we've got patents pending around the world, and it's got there's 3 layers. They all work together. There's a very thick central layer that's made to specification, and that holds the bulk of the moisture. And what you do is you dampen down the bag, and so you crunch it up.
Should I go through the steps now?
Sure, let's do it.
Should we go? I've got it all set up here. It's like a cooking show almost. I've got my bowl all set up. Like
perfect. So you'd normally do it under the tap, but because obviously you don't have a tap, so you just scrunch it up and you just dunk it into the water or place it under the tap.
Dunk it.
And then you don't want to get it too wet, so pull it out quickly. Pull the swag out.
You guys can see this.
Yep. Now just massage that water into that central layer and then wring out any excess. Really wring it out. So usually if it's under the tap, it would be a combination of dry and damp. You wouldn't soak it in a bowl. So you'd get patches of dry and damp, and then you fill, that's the long swag. So that's really good for celery. I mean, you'll get 2.5-3 weeks of celery, of life out of your celery. So a significant difference. And so when you close it up, you put your produce in.
I've got some kale. Can I pop some in?
Yes, whack it in.
So I've got some kale just behind me, just growing
Beautiful.
out here. 1, 2, 3.
Look at that.
I know,
Gorgeous.
so convenient. Yeah, there we go. Russian kale, love it.
You're such a professional. That's amazing.
This is great. No, really. Well, it's all the worms doing all the hard work, yeah. So I like to cut mine in half. That's what I do at home? Is that?
It's totally fine. Yeah, I do that if I've only got a large swag and I haven't got a long one on hand. But it depends on the shape of your crisper as well. If you can fit a long one in. But yeah, it's no biggie if you cut them up. So you pop them in.
Pop them in.
And then fold the flap over. Normally you'd fill it a lot more than that. You can put a range of produce in. You can put herbs in. You can put fruit in, vegetables, tomatoes.
I'm going to keep cutting.
Filling it. Yeah, and then because it creates, when you close it up, it creates this beautiful little greenhouse effect where it's able to breathe and hydrate. So it's actually breathing. So all 3 layers are permeable. And so if you look at the fruit or veggies that are stored in plastic, when you get them from Woolworths and they're in that sort of cellophane plastic, you can see condensation building up inside the bag. That's your vegetables trying to breathe. And they all breathe at different paces. So it doesn't matter whether they're a heavy or a light breather. When you put them in the swag, they just breathe at their own pace because it's all permeable. But then they're drawing on that water as they need it to stay hydrated. So that's the swag. That's the way it works.
So nutrients wise, what does that mean? If a plant is staying hydrated in your fridge rather than getting dry, what does that mean on nutrient level and health?
Well, as it dehydrates and it loses weight, so as you see your produce drying out, if you've got a broccoli in the fridge and it's not in the swag and it's just in the general fridge space, you start to see it get like crumbly and it loses its colour. And if you were to weigh
it goes
that,
sad. It just starts to
or it just starts to dry out, and then it starts to rot. That's another way as well. So as well as getting sort of floppy, but it's actually, if you weigh it, you'll see that the water, which is often nutrients, is depleting over time. So it gets lighter as it loses nutrients. So with the swag, it's retaining all its beautiful colour and weight, and it just stays. And actually, I've had carrots in the swag that have started sprouting new shoots out the top, because carrots will last in their months. It's incredible, and they're so happy. And carrots actually increase in beta carotene over time, so they actually become more nutritious. So it's no issue keeping them in the swag.
And fruit.
Fruit, yes. So fruit, I whack it all in there, and what I do is I've got a fruit bowl behind me, but it's covered with a little bit of cheesecloth because we've got some little fruit flies that like to get in there. I move the fruit from the swag into the fruit bowl, and tomatoes and any avocados, anything that I want to ripen up overnight, then I move that into the fruit bowl. So you always got it slows down the ripening process and slows down the rotting process really, really dramatically. So when you move your fruit in, then you let it soften for a day or two, it's ready to eat, and then you just keep that cycle going. So you're not having that fruit bowl that's full of rotting things at the bottom that just go, you haven't got that. So that's obviously saving a lot of money.
I certainly love it. Like, I go to the farmers market once a week and get a whole bunch of produce, and in order for that to last the week, either you just have to eat a lot really quickly, or some of it would go to the worms. And so just having the swag has changed my life in that way. Like, having that fresh food, that means I don't want to go to the grocery store. Like, I want to support my farmers market, and I want to get fresh veggies in a box each week. But how do I keep it for that entire week? So it helps a lot of other, these other smaller farmers thrive as well. I think I can see that it supports them, and that's one of my passions, seeing local farmers thrive. So yeah,
Yeah,
definitely
100%. And buying
love
local
that.
seasonal produce is really, really important for our health as well, because the
Hmm.
seasons give us what we need. Watermelon's very hydrating, so they're all those beautiful, juicy
Mm,
watermelons and citrus is all out for summer, and then you go more into your root vegetables in winter, which are great for warming you internally, great for
hmm.
soups and stews. So nature really does give us what we need. And then there's
Hmm.
lots of knock-on effects. There's less pesticides used if you're not
Hmm.
buying organic in seasonal produce. And then there's obviously the distance of traveling and supply chain. You haven't got all that, so you're getting a much more nutritious vegetable or fruit in the end when it's
Absolutely.
seasonal. Yeah,
Yeah, I can agree that idea of just fresh food. Like I think when you walk into the grocery store and you pick up um, strawberries in winter and in a season where it's not growing, and you eat them, they're just they're not going to
tasteless.
taste the same. B, they're like, who knows how long they've been on the shelf for, and C,
Yeah,
like chemical wise, like strawberries are really really nasty for that reason. But
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
this idea of, I think once you start putting fresh food and seasonal food into your diet, you can't go back. You really
No,
can't. It's
no.
so tasty.
Yeah,
It's another ah, and this really
yeah,
helps facilitate it. So
yeah.
I love it.
Great.
I'm so
Awesome.
stoked. Oh, so I wanted to. I always like to ask this question because there's a lot of I know personally for myself that you can get quite overwhelmed by the environmental
Absolutely.
degradation that's going around these days. And
Yeah.
so what advice would you give to people that feel overwhelmed but they want to do their little bit?
It's really simple steps. I think, just choose one area to change.
Mm,
But, the plastic bag, not having plastic bags is a great one,
mhm,
taking your reusable bags. But then often people say to me, but I use the plastic bags as a bin liners. And I go,
mhm,
well, just ditch the bin liner. I don't have a bin liner in my bin or my wheelie bin. I just chuck it all in. And then
uh-huh,
that way, if it's not trapped in plastic bags, especially if you are not composting, which I compost. That food waste it's probably the most challenging part for governments moving forward, because food waste is so heavy, and then it
mhm,
gets trapped into the plastic bags that you put it in, and it creates this methane gas, and it's just trapped there for 1,000 years. So they're expecting
mhm,
this huge methane gas explosion in 1,000 years. It's
mhm,
overwhelming. I get it, and I'm not
mhm.
perfect, but you've just got to do little things that suit you. Get your family involved, get your kids involved. And the swag is one of those things that is a great first step for anyone who's wanting to just make a really simple first change, because you can ditch your plastic bags or buying anything in plastic at the point of purchase, knowing that you can bring it home into these beautiful natural 100% natural bags that you fill with your produce, you tuck them into their beautiful swag sleeping bags, and they stay so much fresher. And what we find is when people make that step, and they find it a really overwhelming step to go from plastic, because it's been in our lives for so long and been such a
Mhm,
go-to solution, they think it's going to be hard, but it's actually really, really easy. And then
mhm,
that sets them on a journey of really looking at plastic and then looking at waste. And so it is a great first step. But there's lots of things out there. It's going back, to
yeah,
soap
yeah,
bars and
it really
shampoo
is.
bars and natural products that can compost at the end of the day is probably the most important thing that you can do, because even if you are using recycled products, that we can't the governments can't keep up with any kind of recycling, so
Mhm,
recycling is not really, it's good, it's better than single use, but it's still not the end or the be all and the end all. Really compostable products is where it's at.
mhm. That's no, that's so true. Like I think for myself, just doing something small like the swag or like composting, something really manageable, riding your bike to work or whatever it is, and then build off that. And
Yeah,
whatever it is, focus on, because there is, I mean, our society is built on fossil fuels. So for you to just sort of, oop, I'm just going to exit from this right now and go live sustainably, in a forest somewhere, which is awesome if you can do it, but it's really, really difficult to do in this society.
Yeah, 100%.
So it's little steps towards bigger changes is sort of my motto. And I'm only 28 years old, but I feel like there's more of a positive movement going on these days. There is a lot of fear-based going on there. I think most of the time it's hard to encourage people to change through fear, and there has to be some sort of reward at the end of the day, whether that be you're getting fresh food, you're growing food, you're having fun, you're doing it out of love, maybe, and out of fear. It might sound a bit hippie, but I really think that's sort of the motivation.
Yeah, I completely agree. And, we focus on having a really positive interaction with our customers, and because I think you're right, 100%, when it's based on fear, and then they look at it's overwhelming because there's so many places that need change, really. And I get it, because I get really upset sometimes. And actually, before COVID, I thought, I was just like, that's it. We're all screwed. We're doomed. And then when COVID happened and you saw this, actually we saw, and I'm sure you did, a lot more people growing vegetables, composting, moving towards natural solutions. We saw a great lift in sales through our retailers, and through our own online sales were huge. And and then just seeing all the love and the care and the people talking about the environment, and it really lifted my heart and just gave me exactly what I needed to just go, right, it's not too late. I thought that the tipping point we'd gone too far, but I actually know that we have not gone too far. It's just a matter of just doing simple things that work within your family frame or within your lifestyle that can make big changes.
Well said. No, that feels good. We're on the same page.
yeah, it is. And it's fun. That's the thing. What we find is customers that do take that first step to the swag, and they see how happy their veggies are when they keep opening up. They're these gorgeous little veggies looking at them so happy. And they get this really good feeling. And it does, the more you do live sustainably, it's such a good feeling. I don't know, it's something it creates within you, and composting is a brilliant solution as well.
You'll get me talking about that all day. And I know there's a couple more things I wanted to ask. The first one was the reveal of the secret special swag offer.
Yes.
Is it time to do that?
Sure. Do you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we're offering 10% off today, and we've also got some other little free gifts that are happening for Plastics Free July. So you get 10% off with waste-free 10 at the swag.com.au. Yeah.
Waste-free 10. Okay, cool. Great.
And that's 10% off the core range, which is our vegetable swags. But we've got other products that are waste and plastic free as well.
Okay. And how can people jump on and check out the swags and see what you guys are up to, and purchase one if they wish?
So you can purchase at theswag.com.au. There should be links in our Facebook from products to our shop. And then you can follow us at the Swag Original, I think it is.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you've got a link down there anyway.
Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. Fantastic. Thank you, Peita. Thank you, everybody, for watching. If there's any other questions that pop up, please just put them in the comment section. I had a really fun time. We're about to jump on Instagram and do this again. Maybe we'll go into a bit more of a deeper conversation. So if you guys want to join us on there, please do. But I'll see you soon.
Thanks so much, Pete. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Bye.